Hey guys, Dimension Master Studios here. How are y'all doing? So I'm sure as you guys know, a while back I made a video discussing Akita finally returning in Ninjago, with her making an appearance in a comic inside of one of the Ninjago magazines. And a few weeks ago, I made a video discussing how Akita is going to be returning in an upcoming comic in an upcoming magazine. And today we actually got a little more information surrounding that comic that Akita is going to be appearing in, because we have another picture of one of the panels that's going to be in that comic. So in today's video, I just want to take a look at this picture that we have and analyze it a bit. So let's get into this whole thing. So when it comes to the picture that we get, it's on the cover of a Ninjago magazine. And we see that when it comes to this comic, it's apparently going to be 12 pages long, which is the average length for comics that are in the Ninjago magazines. And when it comes to the picture that we get, it answers some questions that we had about the initial picture that we had for this comic. However, it also raises a few questions. So now let's get into some of the specifics. So for starters, one thing that I talked about in my initial video discussing this comic is that when it came to the picture that we got, we saw that when it came to Lloyd and Akita, the two of them both had plates on their back, and it wasn't entirely clear why they had these. Well, when it comes to this picture, it answers that because, as we see, Akita and the ninja are using these plates to snowboard. So we have an answer as to why exactly these characters have those plates. However, this also raises the question, why exactly are these characters snowboarding in the first place? Well, when it comes to this picture, we see that apparently these characters have gotten involved in an avalanche that started, so it looks like they're using these plates to snowboard through the avalanche as a way to traverse through it. Although when it comes to why exactly the avalanche started in the first place, that's not entirely clear. Although if I had to take a wild guess, I'm guessing that the giant bird that we saw in the initial picture is most likely the cause for this, although it could have been Vex or something else altogether, although I feel like it was most likely the giant bird responsible for this. However, that's not all, because as we can see in this picture, all 6 of the original ninja are present, and not only that, the ninja are wearing their core outfits, meaning that when it comes to this comic, it takes place sometime prior to the events of the merge happening rather than after it. Meaning sometime before the merge happened, the ninja would have needed to go back to the Netherrealm, given the fact that we're seeing stuff with Akita and Vex again, which does raise the obvious question, why exactly did the ninja go back to the Netherrealm in the first place? I'm sure that the comic is going to answer this question, but I am honestly wondering why the ninja went back in the first place. However, given that the ninja are returning to the Netherrealm, this is something that I'm honestly really looking forward to because, for one, I really like the Netherrealm, I think it's pretty interesting, but secondly, with the ninja returning to the Netherrealm, this means we're most likely finally going to see the return of the Scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu. Given that the Scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu is how the ninja traveled to the Netherrealm in the first place during Season 11, I feel like it would only make sense for this comic to bring that back, so that way the ninja could travel back to the Netherrealm. Unless we get some other explanation as to how the ninja traveled to the Netherrealm, like maybe instead Akita traveled to Ninjago using those berries from the Traveler's Tree, and maybe that's how the ninja got back to the Netherrealm. I'm not entirely sure, but I am honestly hoping that it is the Scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu, because I honestly really like Forbidden Spinjitzu. I think it's a really cool concept, and I think it would be cool if that is how the ninja went back to the Netherrealm, especially since, again, we haven't seen it in a long time. But either way, the ninja are going to be going back to the Netherrealm, and I am really looking forward to this. However, there's one last thing that I want to talk about when it comes to this comic. Like I said earlier, when it comes to this picture, we can see that all 6 of the original ninja are present in it, meaning that all 6 of the original ninja are going to be in this comic. And this is something that I'm honestly really looking forward to, because I feel like as a result of this, we could get a chance to see Akita have dynamics with the other members of the ninja team. During the events of Season 11, we only ever saw Akita have a dynamic with Lloyd, and that was it. So I think it would honestly be really interesting to see what dynamics Akita could have with the other members of the ninja team. I'm especially interested in seeing what could happen between her and Zane, given the fact that Zane was the Ice Emperor and he did a lot of really bad stuff in the Netherrealm, so I think having a dynamic between the two of them in particular could be something really interesting. Something that I discussed in a video I made a while back talking about the idea of Akita returning is the idea that when it comes to Zane, he might decide to go to the Netherrealm in order to try and seek forgiveness from the people of the Netherrealm for all the terrible stuff that he did as the Ice Emperor, and Akita could either be the first or even the only person to forgive Zane for the stuff he did as the Ice Emperor. And I think it would honestly be really interesting if we got a chance to see something like that. Now, I will admit, I definitely would prefer it if we saw this in the show rather than this being in a comic, but I wouldn't be opposed to this being in a comic. And either way, again, I'm just really interested in seeing what Akita's dynamics could be like with the other members of the ninja team. And so that's pretty much all I got for you guys. So even though we don't have that much information to go off of at this point when it comes to this comic, I'm still really looking forward to it. Given that, like I said in my previous video talking about the comic, I'm honestly really happy that we're finally getting more content with Akita after all this time, especially since Akita is one of my favorite Ninjago characters of all time. Again, this is a comic that I'm really looking forward to. Now, as for when the comic is going to be released in the magazine, that I'm not entirely sure about, given that we don't really know when this magazine is going to be released or even what issue of the magazine it's going to be. If I had to be optimistic, then I would say issue 117, which is going to be released next month. But I'm not entirely sure about that, and it's possible that it could be an issue that we get after that. Either way, though, we're just going to have to wait, but either way, I'm still really looking forward to this magazine and this comic. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. So tell me down below what do you guys think. Tell me, are you guys looking forward to this comic? Again, tell me down below, and I hope you guys enjoy. Later, guys, this is Dimension Master Studios, signing off.